find your lack of faith disturbing.
Gotcha!
SmashMouth Footballerz. Introducing Nic Tate, Joe Caldero, Chad Young, SmashMouth Footballerz.
Hey, welcome to SmashMouth Footballerz. I'm Nic Tate.
Joe Caldero.
And the Cadillac.
Guys, we are kicking butt here in the free agency. And, man, it's just been going crazy. The picks are nuts, and it's slowing down, but, you know, I can't wait to see what it all totals out to right before the draft.
I kind of love all these one-year prove-it contracts that they're doing.
Yeah, they're not trying to spend money. Everybody's trying to get younger. You obviously see that. A lot of stopgap stuff coming on. I really am interested how the rest of free agency goes after the draft. Like, it's starting to slow down. You can see teams start filling their needs in the draft. And then after that, you're going to get more of that, okay, we need to fill these holes. This is who's out there, and we need to get them.
Yep.
But most of the top 100 free agency been signed.
You see a lot of them like this draft is very strong on running backs, very strong on defensive linemen, edge rushers, and for me, I think the cornerbacks are strong this year too. And so that you see a lot of teams picking outside of that. Yeah. Going free agency outside of that.
And in this episode, we're going into the AFC West, which is probably the second strongest division, I think, in football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City, obviously. Denver's coming on strong, and I like some of the moves they're made, which you're going to talk about. And every one of these teams, if we go look at their moves, I think has been brilliant. The Chargers. Look, I mean, I trust Harbaugh.
How can you not?
And look at the moves they made. So, I mean, look, we can get into it. Let's get into it right now.
Let's get into it. I can't wait.
All right, we're going with the Denver Broncos. Quarterback Jarrett Stidham re-signed. I mean, come on, man. They ain't trying to go for no quarterback.
No, they got one.
I mean, they got one.
They got the one they want.
That's it. Wide receiver Trent Sherfield signed for a $6 million contract, 1.5 guaranteed.
Now that's that is kind of crazy to me, because I think he had 8 receptions last year, 8 total receptions, 1 touchdown last year with Minnesota. Maybe it's because their wide receiver room is so full in Minnesota.
I think that's just indicative. He may not even make the team.
Yeah, so why sign him to 2 years? Why not just a 1-year contract?
Maybe they see some possibilities in it.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I mean,
they got receivers. They got 3 receivers that are better than that.
I mean,
guy.
Sean Payton, he may see this guy. He says, I can build this guy up. I know exactly. He'll fit my scheme, and that's kind of where he's going.
Special teamer as well. Sean Payton believes in. I mean, he's always been known like special teams. He wants to get special teams. He understands how flipping the field works.
Yep.
He
may not even play wide receiver.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he could be a gunner. He could. Yep.
So
of all their picks, that's the only one I don't like of all their free agency.
It doesn't move anything. It's not a needle mover or anything.
No,
I mean, the needle.
Let's talk about this one then. Tight end Evan Ingram.
That's the needle mover.
Boy, they moved that dude out of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Finally.
Is it going to revitalize him?
I think so. I really do.
It was 2 years ago. He led all tight ends.
He sure did.
This is a position which they do not have, and now they do.
Now they do.
And we know Sean Payton loves tight ends. Yeah, he tried to fill the gap with Adam Troutman. He wanted Juwan Johnson. Yep. The Saints overpaid for Juwan Johnson, but he wanted him. And if anybody knows how to use a tight end, it's Sean Payton. Jimmy Graham became a star under Sean Payton. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And then when he left Sean Payton's system and he went to Seattle, he
fizzled out.
Was an average player.
Yep.
Yeah. And maybe he looks at it and he sees that Evan Ingram brings a lot to Bo Nix. I mean, Bo Nix was kind of one-sided in the passing game last year. I mean, he did not have any superstar receivers or anything like that. We got to kind of look at where they're going to go in the draft. I mean, they definitely need a running game. You know, they got rid of their number one running back, from last year. So
they're number one, but everybody else is number 2 and 3.
Yeah, he's
right. So maybe they're going running back, wide receiver. Going into the draft.
Oh, it's written on the wall.
A lot of re-signs, offensive tackle Matt Pert, DJ Jones, one big pickup, real good pickup, Dre Greenlaw.
Man, that's a fantastic pickup. If he can stay healthy, yeah.
And then Talona Hungafung. I can't even say his name.
Hungafung.
Yeah, Hungafung. Safety.
Good thing you don't live in Hawaii, man.
Hey, look, I used to live in Hawaii. I swear to God, when I was in the Marine Corps, that was where I was stationed at.
Just never called anybody by their name. You said, "Hey, you."
No, they were like, "Howdy, boy. Mainlander. You go back to the mainland." I'm like, all right. But their defense was already stout last year.
Their defense was amazing last year.
Two of these ads right here make it that much stronger.
That's crazy.
Hafanga and Greenlaw.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to go super heavy in the draft. Super heavy offense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see wide receivers. I see running backs. Man, they got to.
Their offensive line is good.
Yeah,
is good. So they don't have to spend a lot there. But
think about it. You pick the right wide receivers, the right running back, to go with this brand new Bo Nix quarterback. They could be together for a long time.
That's where I think they go. And there's going to be someone there that's at Sean Payton in the past. He has drafted wide receivers who burn. Brandon Cooks.
Yep.
Mike Thomas in the second round. He wanted that right receiver. He wanted a big body receiver. He got him.
Yep.
He what's his name out of Tennessee the first year? He used him. Devery Henderson in the past. He wanted a burner. And this draft is going to set up where they are and what they're going to do. I just assume that they're going to go with Golden.
That's what I was about to say.
I got
Golden
because what did he ran on a 4.3940?
That's what they need. They're missing the speed.
Yep, and because they got a big body wide receiver, all he does is catch touchdowns.
Cortland Sutton is there. He's their guy,
and all he does is catch touchdowns.
He's their Nico Collins.
Yep, and you got that, and look, Matthew Golden's there. And when he didn't have that, when he didn't go get it, he didn't draft it. Look, there was a time Ted Ginn came out because he was fast. And Ted Ginn had a niche. He had carved out a good system, and his dad was a coach, and Sean Payton loved that. Mm-hmm. Talented guy who can burn the top off of defense, and Matthew Golden has to be your guy. I'd be so surprised if they do not draft him.
He should be their first pick.
Oh, I assume.
And their second pick will be a running back in the second round.
Yeah, and Sean Payton's going to use a 3-down back. He wants somebody who's going to catch the ball out of the backfield, and you're gonna have them there.
Yeah, I agree.
This draft is setting up very good.
The only way I see that they don't pick Golden is if Genty or somebody comes down.
Yeah,
around that area.
Yeah, they might have to make a selection between Omarion Hampton.
They may move up to get somebody too.
I wouldn't. I think they're in a good place. But yeah, they could. But they're in such a good place, man. Sean Payton is building something there. I don't know how many years until they overtake the Kansas City Chiefs, but he's making it a competition.
That team should have never made the playoffs.
Right, but it did. With
a rookie quarterback in salary cap purgatory because of that Russell Wilson deal.
Yep.
He said, wash it. I don't care. I thought, hey, this season for them is going to be a wash. Next year they'll do it.
That.
Look at this.
He told Bo Nix, go out there and just play your heart out.
I don't know.
And he did.
He should have got Coach of the Year for what he did with that thing. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just that. That defense was phenomenal. And they didn't lose. They gained on it.
Yep. They gained. They gained Greenlaw and Hafanga.
Oh man!
How do you? I mean, you're gaining two great players.
Look, and you know what they did? They got better on special teams too because they went and got Rizzi.
So
they poached Rizzi.
Yeah.
Rizzi, you ain't gonna take this high. Hey, you don't want this. They're not gonna take this head coaching job. Come over here.
Yep.
Come over here and build your special teams.
That's the problem with boosting somebody up into a head coaching emergency job. You can't bring them back down. No. They leave usually.
Oh, they're gonna leave.
So,
and if you're Rizzi,
he's a hot commodity. He was a hot commodity.
He's been nothing. But how is his special teams? He's got to be one of the, if not the best special teams coordinator.
Right.
And it's just Amazing.
So going into the draft, based off everything they've done in free agency, there's no way they do not go offensive heavy.
Heavy.
I agree.
Because look at their defense. They just sheared it up in the free agency, and you're just like, what more can they do?
Now we've seen teams like Washington years back draft 2 quarterbacks in the draft. What's to stop them from drafting 2 running backs this year? This is the year to do it.
They may do it.
This is the year to do it.
They may do it. Just Matthew Golden has Sean Payton written on him.
Right. I mean, if it falls right, you can get a running back in the 4th round.
You can. You can get.
So you can get Matthew
So
Golden.
what stops them from getting Amari and Hampton?
Nothing.
That's
nothing.
That's going to be the pick. How far is Amari and Hampton going to go up?
Early second, probably.
Oh, I think he gets. I think he gets in the first.
I was about to say, I think
You think he's gone the first?
Yeah. And there was talk maybe earlier at the combine. Now it's done dropped off now, but there was talk he may be the first running back on the board.
Ooh.
Now,
mean,
it dropped off, but there was talk.
I could see why. This running back class is so strong. You can draft a 3-down back in the 3rd or 4th round this year.
Yeah.
No doubt.
No doubt. You got talent all over the place in that. I mean, even if you don't, you got specialists. You got specialists that can come and they're going to make a difference in the 4th, 5th, 6th. I mean,
and Sean Payton's such a great drafter that he'll make it happen.
So the consensus is, no matter what happens right now in the draft, they're going offensive heavy. Wide receiver, running back.
So how many years until you think they overtake the Kansas City Chiefs?
2.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, I believe it.
That's 2. And I don't know. I'll tell you why. And you're going to bring this up, but when is Kansas City going to draft a wide receiver that doesn't come with baggage?
Right.
With Rashee Rice and now Worthy.
Yeah.
When are they great talented players? And
then they go and get a bunch of stopgap receivers they're good, but they're not great.
Hollywood Brown, they re-signed him. Juju, they re-signed him. They shored up that offensive line. They had to do that because
it was terrible.
It was terrible on that left side.
Boy.
That left guard, they moved out to left tackle.
Mahomes was getting smoked.
Yeah, they had to do that.
Well, before we jump into let's move out of the Denver Broncos way and let's go on with the next one.
Oh, how did it fall to me? You guys know how I feel about this team.
That's why it fell to you.
Oh, okay.
Talk to us about him.
It wasn't on purpose. Maybe Chad said it was.
Kansas City Chiefs, who, I think they get special treatment. I think they get a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to go into that. We're just talking free agency.
Maybe next year. Maybe they don't do it.
So Gardner Minshew did sign a 1-year contract. So I guess his physical is out the way now.
That was the Raiders just getting rid of him.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that.
Yeah. So I believe Gardner Minshew is a great backup. I think he's better than what they had.
But they're keeping Zappy too.
No, Zappy's okay. Zappy's okay.
Well, so.
Zappy will be a practice squad guy.
One of these guys is going to be somewhere else.
I guarantee you it's going to be Minshew.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs are smart enough to take Minshew right now and get something for him before this. When all these quarterbacks are gone, Minshew's going somewhere.
I don't think so.
I think
he just cut. Now he's just going to cut him. Nobody's paying for that dude. Nobody's paying for that guy.
You get desperate, man. People do all kind of crazy
What'd
things.
you say? 1 year prove it.
1 year prove it.
Nobody's paying for that dude. Hey, I'm more enamored with the Derek Carr trade talk after the draft.
Man, wouldn't that be great?
Then this small, this doesn't move the needle for me at all. Their signings, it's up for what they did on the offensive line. Even their re-signings.
They're just creating depth. That's all they're doing.
One of them.
Okay, tell me about it.
One of them moves the needle for me, and that's Kareem Hunt. Kareem, in the red zone, Kareem Hunt was a machine for them. So I like the Kareem Hunt. Elijah Mitchell doesn't move the needle. Marquise Brown.
I think Elijah Mitchell moves the needle.
You think so?
I do. He was the number 1 for the 49ers until they picked up Christian McCaffrey. And the only reason that he wasn't able, when he was the number 1, he was a baller. Like, he was out there. And he's been fresh. He isn't hurt. He's got the ability.
And he will never see the field.
I think he will.
We'll see.
I think he takes.
I'd be willing to put a bet on that.
I think he takes either one of these other two running backs positions.
He's definitely not taking Pacheco's spot.
I'm telling you, because Kareem Hunt and Pacheco run too much alike.
They do run alike.
Regardless, they've always liked 2 to 3 back systems. They'll have somebody on third down just to catch a ball.
Mitchell's going to do it.
That may
Because I'm
be
going to tell you, look at Kareem Hunt. He got a $1.5 million deal.
Prove it.
Elijah Mitchell got 2.5.
Does it feel like
They have something planned.
Does it not feel like Kareem Hunt's been in the league forever?
15 years, it seems like.
What I think is funny is he started on this team, got
some
moved
trouble.
around, and now he's back.
Yeah.
Well, he got in trouble. He got in some drama, which is why he got moved over. And he's just,
Again, that is the Kansas City Chief curse.
gosh, man.
They like to get in trouble up
So
there in
is this-
Kansas. There must not be nothing to do up there.
Is this the Rasheed Rice effect? What do y'all think? Marquise Brown re-signed for 1 year, $11 million.
And he catches 8 balls.
Or he's hurt.
Is this the Rasheed Rice effect? They're like, oh boy,
What's it?
we got to have somebody just in case.
They don't know what's going. I don't know what's going on. Rasheed Rice. You don't even know if he's going to see the field next year. I don't think anything's going to come out of that wreck, but something's got to be resolved in that.
Right.
And like I said at the beginning of the year, he got that terrible injury. Then you got this court and all that looming. He may not see the field for 2 years. And then Worthy. Now I more I read about this, it seems like this girl was just taking advantage of a kid. But regardless, he called a battery charge.
Yeah.
And
So they had to panic and go get Juju, who I think is better than Marquise Brown.
well, they just re-signed him. They
re-signed him. But so tell me your thoughts on this. Signing Marquise Brown for $11 million or go getting Amari Cooper for $4 million.
Neither.
well, Marquise Brown does what Andy Reid wants.
Yeah.
And that's
Cooper's not
take the
gonna do
top
that.
off.
yeah, take the top off. And he's still got speed.
Cooper's not doing it.
Hollywood Brown still got speed. Amari Cooper's done. They said it at the combine. There was a NFL head coach who went anonymous and said he's done. Amari Cooper is
He might be done. Yeah, he might be.
And let me tell you something. If you had quality, if you were out there, and you would have been signed. DeAndre Hopkins. Hey, guess what? He got a job. And I remember one time when D-Hop was better than Amari, but physically, it looked like they were the same people out there. Well, DeAndre still's got something, and
He can still create.
yeah, and Amari
Create
Cooper's doesn't have a job, and that came out of the combine. Somebody's going to pick up Amari Cooper and give him a 1 year, right? But it's going to be after the draft when they didn't get that hole filled.
And I'd be willing to put money on that Amari Cooper catches more balls than Marquise Brown
That's probably true.
Yeah, but
for
Marquise,
$11 million.
But Marquise Brown is making your safeties run back.
But we're putting $11 million on a possibility, on a maybe.
Well, this guy's going to stretch the field.
Yeah.
He may not catch many balls, but hey, at any point you throw. If he gets behind your defense, just throw it up. And that's a touchdown.
Well, on top of that, you got to look at the non-catchable plays that he's doing. You said, he's got the defense scrambling everywhere while they make the plays that they want to make.
Exactly.
You're not going to get that from Amari. All they're going to do is pin one guy to Amari. He's going to go mid to short down the field, and that's a wrap. He's hoping to get open, and he probably won't.
Let's be honest. You have one of the best intermediate threats in the NFL, and Travis Kelce. Hey, if you can get those safeties and you're in a corner stretched out away from him, that's all. Hey, you're just creating.
That's true,
right?
So they did shore up their offensive tackle with Jalen Moore. I mean, he's better than what they had.
Yep.
Yeah, by
Way
far.
better.
By far, they moved a guard out there last year.
And Trey Smith is now the guard.
Franchise tag, non-exclusive.
Yep. Jerry Tillery, Nick Bolton. Them re-signing him was a must-have. They had to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the one move. The move that moves the needle the most for me for this team is Christian Fulton.
I agree.
2 year, $20 million. Almost nothing for a great player.
Yeah, 2 years ago he was struggling. He was so young. Last year he had a great year. He had a great year. This was coming. I think he is ascending. He's an ascending player. Christian Fulton had all the talent in the world coming out of LSU. He was struggling 2 years ago. Let's not even lie about it. Some of the tape was just terrible. Last year, he turned his career around. He's going on a better defense, I think. I mean, we know Kansas City stopped the run last year.
Their defense was what got them in the playoffs.
Yeah, they were winning games by like
their
1 point.
defense is so good that guy right there is going to show himself with this team. He's going to be so good.
And the Jerry Tillery signing, like, that's just a big body up front that's going to eat blocks.
Yeah.
Like, I like what they've done. Yeah.
Run stopper.
The problem with them is it feels like they have to go wide receiver again.
They do have to.
Because
and this is because they don't know what's going to happen.
They have to go at least left tackle. All right. And I don't know. You're so far down. I'll tell you this. The benefit to them drafting this year is they don't go running back. If they do, they're wasting a pick. They don't need to. They don't need to. So while other people are using those running back picks, they have the ability to go pick up those other missing pieces.
They don't need to go edge. They don't need to go linebacker. They don't need to go maybe one defensive lineman. We're strong on safety, so maybe look at a safety. I don't know.
I think somewhere along
it's
the
all
lines
wide receivers.
They pick up a new tight end too.
And
I'm not talking about to play this year. I'm talking about to develop going forward. Travis Kelce's not too far out the door.
Yes, it's so hard to find talent. I mean, I'm not a Kelce fan, but it's so hard to find talent. That one thing, that is what he does, and that's go straight to the middle of the field and he creates it. He creates all kind of mayhem.
But I mean, he's descending in his career, and I mean, he's starting to get his popularity in Hollywood, stuff like that. I'm telling you, he's not. Maybe next year at the end of the year, he walks away.
He might.
I'm telling you,
he might.
Where they're drafting though, it's not a good spot for. I mean, you might get Loveland there. I don't think they go first at the tight end. I'm saying I think they pick up some kind of possibility of some talent going in the draft at some point. Look,
wide receiver is definitely a must.
Wide receiver,
definitely,
and offensive line.
One offensive lineman.
They've got to shore up something on that left side. More. I know they signed this, but
you got to get one that doesn't take a step back before the ball goes.
Yeah.
How great was it to see everybody's superhero Mahomes look like an average human being last year toward the end of the season? I loved it. All my Kansas City fans out there.
God, that boy has some hatred.
I do not like it. The dude is LeBron James of the NFL. He'll flop all over the place and then be like, "Where's the flag? Where's the flag? Where's the flag?"
That was the most embarrassing look I have ever seen a player. That was
the Texans game.
Flopping.
Man, I must have wore out my remote control by pausing it and rewinding it and playing it.
And he never got touched. But he was flopping.
Yeah, he was flopping all over the place. Yeah, it's crazy, and they should show up. They should throw a flag on that, on sportsmanlike conduct or something, because that's ridiculous. And until he stops that, I will never be a fan. Let's move on to the next team.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, Kansas. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. The Raiders.
Poor Vegas. Vegas, I think you finally figured something out. I think Tom Brady becoming a minority owner is going to change what's going on with y'all. Mark Davis, please start getting someone to cut your hair.
And move to the side.
Yeah.
And let the man let the man.
Pete Carroll. You went and got Pete Carroll's going to be there 2 years, 3 years. That's it. Yeah. He's 70 years old.
Yeah,
but he went and got somebody he knows and can teach.
Yeah, he said, "I'm going to get somebody who's going to get in here and give me some direction," because they didn't have any direction underneath Pierce, and he got in trouble. His wife got in trouble. I don't understand the players wanted him, but you've got a legitimate guy out there, and they started building it the way Pete Carroll builds teams. I don't like the Geno Smith, but I don't think they're trying to win. I don't think they're trying to win right now. I think they want to be competitive.
They're developing.
Yep. They said, I got to get people in the fans. I got to get people in the Death Star. He knows. I know Geno Smith. I know what I can do with him. Pete Carroll went and got him. He went and got Mostert. He goes, I need somebody to get the ball in the end zone. Because Zaire White is not the answer. I don't have the answer back here.
So I think this is a team that does get a running back at some point. Mostert's not a starter, but he's definitely a closer.
Yep.
So just 3 years ago for Geno, go back to Geno.
Yeah.
Just 3 years ago, 2022, 4,282 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Then you go to last year, 4,320 yards, 21 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. That's where he's lacking all them interceptions, and I think Pete Carroll is going to get that out of him. Because guess who was his coach?
Yeah, Pete Carroll. Yeah, Pete Carroll knows what he can do with him.
So I think Geno is a good pick. They both know each other. They feel good about each other. So
Yeah.
I like the Geno pick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not bashing. I just Geno Smith's not a Super Bowl
No,
quarterback,
he's definitely
Yeah, that's
not.
what I'm saying. He's not going to take this team
He's definitely not.
into the Super Bowl.
especially not in this division.
Right.
But what they're doing is you see Pete Carroll putting his thumbprint.
They're closing the gap.
Yeah, he's putting his thumbprint on this team. We're going to get him competitive, and when I step out the way, I'm going to have this groomed to be set up.
Right.
I mean, look, Alex Kappa, they got stronger, right?
Great, absolutely.
You did the right thing signing Max Crosby. The dude is an animal. He's an absolute beast. You re-signed what you needed to. You went what you did. That Jeremy Shin signing, I loved it.
Max Crosby got to be the Baker Mayfield of edge rushers.
If you bumped into this dude at Walmart or something, Target, he doesn't even look like an NFL player. He's just a big, tall dude. You know, he's not big and muscular or nothing. He's just an animal.
He's angry.
Yeah.
Got that dog, right?
Like a Jack Lambert type player. Jack Lambert didn't look like an NFL bodied guy, but he was an animal.
Yeah.
You know, so
And they shored up. They did a couple things to shore up their secondary. It's not perfect by any means, but once again, you're getting the Pete Carroll thumbprint of we're going to run the ball.
Yep.
We're going to play hard nose. Mm-hmm. We are going to do this thing on defense. And drafting is where it's going to be tough. I think they want Austin Genty.
And I think that's what they go for.
But they are going to have a decision to make. If it comes to them and they got Genty and they say, look, we got some depth in this draft. Mm-hmm. Shador Sanders is falling.
oh geez, don't do that.
They make Geno a bridge quarterback later on.
They can do this. They can do this. And I would not be surprised at all. They say the Saints are not going to take Shador Sanders because what other team's going to take him? Every other team's got that quarterback. Cam Ward's going to be gone. He's either going to go to New York or he's either going to go to
top two picks.
Browns, Tennessee.
He's going to be gone, right? Shador Sanders is falling. They said his interviews at the Combine were terrible.
Yeah.
Okay? Some people predict Jackson Dart to be the second quarterback now.
I do.
You cannot take Jackson Dart in the first 10 picks.
You can't take Shador Sanders in the first 10
I
picks.
agree with you. Mm-hmm. So somebody is going to want Janty. They trade out of that spot, move back, and if Shador Sanders falls to them, they may get picks and their future quarterback.
Man, I don't see him as a future anything. I really don't.
Oh, I do.
Shador Sanders?
Yeah, it's going to take a little longer.
They're gonna. I see Shador Sanders. I'm not the same kind of player as Anthony Richardson, but the stock they're going to put him into him at the draft, and he's going to ruin a team for 3 or 4 years. That's what I see Shador Sanders as.
And here's the thing: that's if you can't get his daddy away from him.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things.
Oh, is that
you got LeVar Ball over there talking all this trash about his kid? You know, pumping him up when he's not that guy. So I don't know.
He's intermediate route. Intermediately, he is. He's accurate.
Yes.
He's fluid. He's athletic.
Yep.
He doesn't have a big arm, so to say, but he can make every NFL throw.
Yes, but he has a personality problem. He has a huge personality problem. What was his name? I'm trying to think of it. The big guy from LSU who could throw the ball on a knee 60 yards.
Who got drafted by the Raiders?
Yeah, drafted by the Raiders.
Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell could make every throw. But he had a personality problem, and look what happened to him. He fizzled out.
He had a drug problem.
Well, he was a personality problem. He was a personality problem.
That comes with personality.
Yeah. I don't think Shador Sanders is that.
No. But I'm just saying you can't go off of this combine and all that stuff because these guys know it's already scripted for them what those are going to make in the combine. Jamarcus Russell made every throw.
Shador did not work out because he knows he's the second quarterback who's going to be taken.
Right. But if it was next year, he'd be the fifth quarterback.
He might be the fifth. Yeah. And you can't lie. He's talented. And I don't think Deion's going to get involved. I don't. Deion's got his own thing going on in Colorado, and Marshall Faulk just became the running back coach over there. Like, he got stable over there. Like,
man, what a great running back coach.
Colorado is doing big things. Like, he can't be in Shador's back pocket because he's got a full-time job turning that system around.
Watch him.
You think so?
I think he does.
I think he does.
I think he would give up coaching.
It only takes a minute to step aside and
in
tweet
college just to be in them kids' face. That's the only reason he coached, was so he can make sure his kids got to the NFL.
No, I don't think so at all.
I'm telling you.
No.
What happens?
He had a chance to go to Dallas. They had a conversation.
No. I'm saying because he knows that Dallas ain't going to get his kids. Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
What happens to kids who are raised by super narcissists? They end up becoming super narcissists as well.
I don't think Deion's like that.
Man, anybody who refers to himself as Coach Prime is not a super narcissist.
That's it, because he made money. And look, you can say what you will. Deion Sanders was the most electric player on the field.
He was.
And then he went to the Braves and the Reds, and he was great.
Talent and personality are not the same.
His first job was not at a big school because he could have. Yep. He went to an HBCU, historically black college university. He uplifted that place. He got the water. It was contaminated water, right? He got all that fixed in the community. There are some great things this man has done.
I'm not saying he hasn't. I know from everything I've seen about Coach Prime, them kids are his number one priority.
That's great.
And sometimes to a negative level.
There you go. Well, that's why they're the way they are.
I mean, LeVar Ball loved his kids too. And look at what he did with them. And then they end up fizzling out.
LeVar Ball tried to brand shoes for $400.
He tried to rewrite stuff.
You have to be honest. He was on talk shows talking about his shoes, not his kids.
But I hope the Raiders don't draft Shedeur Sanders. I hope that they wait till next year. Let Geno be a 2-year.
If they stay in place to get Janty, Pete Carroll would love that.
That would be great.
Pete Carroll would love that.
Or any of the top 3 running backs coming out.
Yeah, but I mean, you take Janty, you got Geno, you got Mostert as a back. Mm-hmm. I think you're building. You got Brock Bowers. Come on, man.
They got to go wide receiver.
Yeah. So in the second round, they have to. In the second round, they have to go wide receiver, and there's going to be some talent there.
Jacoby Myers is still. He's still a dog. I mean, he showed it with bad quarterback play. So
yeah,
let's get some receivers in the building and see what happens.
So we're taking about that. I mean, do you think maybe there's an outside chance they take Ted McMillan?
I would
over Janty.
No. Yes. Because now, see, I'm a big Janty fan.
Yep.
But if you can trade down,
this is a deep draft.
Trade down, get McMillan, and then get Omario Hampton at like the 4th pick down or something like that, or I don't even know, one of the Ohio State running backs.
You can get one of them
in the early 2nd round. Why not?
Or you can get the Ohio State wide receiver in the 2nd round. You can get Egbuka.
Yeah, so I mean, they're there. They're all there.
Yeah,
the only way they screw this up, I mean, it's almost impossible to screw it up.
You think the Shedeur Sanders, if they draft Shedeur Sanders in the 1st round, do you think that's...
They don't. There's no way.
I think
if you take Shedeur Sanders over Ashton Jeanty, you're a fool.
If you take Shedeur Sanders at all in the 1st round, you're a fool.
Especially on the fact that you got Geno Smith. Look, I'm not high on Geno Smith, but he is a decent, very well-rounded quarterback. Why would you take somebody when you definitely need that running back?
I'm a big personality guy on these quarterbacks. Jackson Dart reminds me of Baker Mayfield. He wants to win. He will run through a brick wall.
But whenever he plays teams that are actually good, he struggles.
Right. Then you got, of course, I talk about him nonstop. Tyler Show from Louisville. This guy can make every single throw. This guy is really, really good.
He's the only one who showed anything at the combine, I'll say that much.
He's really good. I would go him over Shedeur Sanders. I'm telling you, man. He might be less of a electric player or whatever, but it's not all about electricity if you're winning. I mean,
fundamentals. Peyton Manning.
When was Joe Flacco electric?
Peyton Manning was not electric.
No,
he was calculated.
When was Flacco electric? Never.
Oh, I thought that was his game. I thought Flacco's game was like throw. You know what I got? I got a gun. I came out of Delaware. Look, I got a gun. Go run deep.
Yeah.
So instead of just beating up Shedeur Sanders on here, this is supposed to be about the Raiders. I think they did pretty good, but they have two glaring needs here, and that's running back and wide receiver.
They've got it. That's why we brought up Shedeur Sanders, is because they're in a
good position.
They're in a
very good
position. They're in a position here,
and they're building something on that defense.
Well, Pete Carroll is putting a stamp on this team, and that's why they brought him in. And I think
bringing in Jeremy Chin was absolutely brilliant for that amount of money.
He is. Man, there's sometimes Jeremy Chin looks like a all-pro back there, and sometimes, if you can just stop the falls, sometimes you got a really good pickup, because they shored up both those safety picks, and what you're seeing is Tom Brady said the competition in Tom Brady. I'm going to be a minority owner. I want to be competitive.
Yeah, let me make the decision. So you guys just sit down.
Get out of the way. Yeah. So
I think that's how it goes.
And you got
Los Angeles Chargers.
One of my favorite teams.
This is great, man.
This is really good.
People.
All right, so you got quarterback Taylor Heineke re-signing. He's just a backup.
That's good.
That's it. Herbert still got all of the love, man.
Yep.
They went and got Najee Harris.
Yep.
Did you hear what he said on the radio? He kind of threw the Steelers under the bus in a nice way. Najee's not a bad guy. He's not a bad personality.
No, he doesn't have bad personality. Nothing.
He says the reason why he knew he was leaving was because the last 4 years, with all the changes that they always had, there was nobody. He said, I'm still learning this job. There was nobody there to help me. I'm going to defensive players asking them what I should do because there's nobody there to help.
That's terrible.
Even Russell Wilson was no help to him. That should say it all. Why would a young running back want to waste his years? We all agree Mike Tomlin is one of the greatest coaches ever, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But when you got a front office who makes all the choices, and Tomlin just has to deal with it, that's not good. Tomlin needs to bust that door down and say, this is my team. I'm making decisions from now on.
That's it.
I mean, we're bringing that up. I don't blame Najee. Said it. He said he knew halfway through the season he wasn't going to play in Pittsburgh anymore. And we're going to have a deep dive discussion after the draft on Pittsburgh, because some of the moves we still don't know who's playing quarterback for him. We don't know who's going to be taking the snaps back there.
And they're waiting on an old man.
But I tell you this is Najee's chance. He got out of a bad situation. Now he can revitalize his career. He's on a great team.
Yep.
They have a good offensive line. Here's his opportunity.
And they've always had good running backs coming out of there. So I hope he revitalizes himself. I mean, we've spoke the truth about Najee.
I'm going to tell you like this. J.K. Dobbins, Najee Harris, in my opinion, was always a better running back.
Even over a healthy J.K. Dobbins?
That's what I'm saying.
I disagree.
J.K. Dobbins can't stay healthy long enough.
Oh, you're talking about the health.
Yeah.
Najee's always there.
Yeah.
Najee's always
He doesn't
there.
get hurt.
Right. But he goes down first contact.
But he's got a chance to learn.
Yep.
But you know what you're getting. You're getting a healthy 17-game starter, and you're getting a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yep.
There you go.
Double-digit touchdown guy. Can't beat it.
And,
It's a great pickup.
This will be his best year.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And look at how much they paid him.
Oh, I agree. This will be his best year.
They didn't pay him hardly anything.
Well, the thing is he's gonna get paid the year after that. So next they got Jalen Reagor. He re-signed, and the next one, they re-signed Mike Williams.
I'm not against it.
Come on back.
I'm not against it.
They need a big body wide receiver.
Need a big body.
I'm not against it either, but it's just funny. He was gone. Now he's back.
Need a big body because they both realized we need each other to make this work. I can't do anything over here, and you guys are missing me over there.
It's always been. He's always been very talented. He can't stay healthy.
Yep, he can't stay healthy.
That's it. I mean,
I think when he's healthy, he's great.
Yeah.
But with them, not with the Jets. With them.
Throw it up in the end zone.
Yeah.
That's a touchdown. That's 6.
More than not, he's coming down with it.
Yeah, that's 6 points. That's stamp guarantee on it.
Yep.
You know?
They re-signed one of their centers. They signed Andre James.
Yep. Because that was their weak point.
Yep.
So now they got 2 centers to battle it out.
They got Mekhi Becton.
Don't like it.
He struggled.
He struggled.
He struggled last year.
They gave him a little money. They threw $20 million at him on a 2-year deal.
Don't like it. Way too much money for a guy who struggled.
Deshaun Hand, edge rusher. I think that was a great pick. Especially
good
for the money.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a good low key. I know he's older now, but in a 3-4, he knows what he's doing. He's going to eat some blocks. I like it. And you on the other side,
I mean, cheap.
Yeah.
$3.35 million.
That's a good contract.
Yeah.
That's a
good team contract.
Yep.
Yeah.
They re-signed Khalil Mack.
Love it.
Why didn't you? I mean,
Why
would you
love it.
not?
But so 1 year.
he's older.
I mean, look, just keep paying him.
Yep.
He's the general, man. He's the Mario back there. He's the general. Everything runs through him.
Yep.
They picked up a couple of D linemen. Troy Dye, returning, got him. Denzel Perryman.
Yeah, they're
returning,
linebackers. They're
doing great.
Their whole linebacker crew is returning.
They signed Deontay Jackson.
Oh, at LSU, Dante.
LSU.
He struggled. He's been on and off. Dante Jackson. You hope you get a above average Dante Jackson over there, because there's been times where he's been good and there's been times where he's been bad. They shored. And I think that's part of them just shoring something up, because they picked up Molden to go on the outside.
And they got
They're
Elijah
playing-
Molden and Benjamin St. Justin.
I love the St. Jude's play.
Yeah,
I love it. But they're
But
playing salary cap.
They picked up 3 cornerbacks, so their plan was to fix that spot.
Well, they got St. Jude's is going to be the guy.
I think so too.
And J.K. Scott, punter.
Big moves.
Big moves, guys.
Who isn't surprised by Harbaugh? Like, I'm gonna flip the field. I'm gonna play defense. I'm gonna run it. And I'm gonna
that's
all these pickups are just what.
That must be what they talk about over the dinner table when they were young or something.
Yeah.
Run the ball and play defense.
Their dad was a coach, you know, and he was a quarterback. He was a quarterback, and he wants to run the ball.
Run the ball.
But y'all were talking about Mike Williams. I mean, come on, man. Look at Ladd McConkey out there running around like a little leprechaun.
Yeah.
But the problem,
Now
it is.
they got another option. That's not this little bitty dude sliding under people and stuff.
When Josh Palmer left, they needed something.
Yeah.
And why not bring the guy back who already knows the playbook? I would have done the same thing. I think it's genius.
Yeah, you got to have something else in there. You have to have something else, right? You got to have Ladd McConkey. It came on, he's great, but he's a slot guy. You got to have a true X.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all gonna laugh. With the way Keenan Allen played last year, they need to bring him back in the building for 1 year.
Look, I don't object. I would rather Keenan Allen than I would Amari Cooper.
Right.
You know,
Here's the problem. You put Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, one of them is going out this year.
yeah, one of them's hurt.
But that's the way it's always been.
That's
with
what I'm
them two.
saying. Yeah, I'm saying you're gonna make sure somebody's hurt this year.
With Ladd McConkey, what he has been doing, and you bring Keenan Allen and Mike Williams back in the building, and they were a decent team with both of them.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I think it would be genius.
I think Mike Williams is a better pickup though.
Oh yeah,
Glad they
I do
did
too.
that.
I do too.
I wonder what they're doing in the draft, because Harbaugh coached at Michigan. He's still got those ties to them players, right?
Yep.
And I think he's going to be I'm the Michigan man. You know, I'm going to get that, and he's going to have.
So he's going tight end.
And they got Will Disley.
You think they? I don't know.
No, I'm saying Michigan. Yeah. So
Grant's there. If Grant's there from Michigan, they might go defensive line.
And they even got Fisk as
They're
tight end.
set
I
up-
don't think they go tight.
they're set up in such a good position to just take best available player.
Yes, I do. And
That
he's
is
going to.
true. I agree with that.
And he's going to pick. I think he's going to have somebody in Michigan. Now, if something insane happens, like I don't know, John Campbell falls. I don't see him falling that far, but if you can do it, do it. I think they go. This guy right here, like it's offensive, defensive line.
Yeah.
is what they want.
They're going to win in the trenches.
Yeah. To me, Johnny Barron is the best cornerback in this second best cornerback behind Travis Hunter. If he's there,
Go get him.
Yeah, like you. Then
You
ain't
can
gotta-
never have too many good corners.
and then you don't have to worry about these 2 years moving on. Then you know you're going to have somebody shore up that side.
Because you got two, one on a 1 year deal and one on a 2 year deal.
Exactly.
This guy can learn while he's playing special teams.
And if you don't do that, you go defensive line, and that guy, they're set up right there. You come out of Michigan. I think
go
Harbaugh.
receiver. I go receiver first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, whatever.
Yeah. Whatever.
They're in a great position. They can just take Best available
they're
player.
going to take best player. I promise you, that's what they're going to do.
You got McMillan out of Arizona in that spot.
I wonder if that how it enticed because he went to Michigan. I wonder, would he be enticed? Could they twist his arm to move up and get Mason Graham?
He's going to try to build Michigan West.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Might as well.
Look, that defense, you can't say what you will. That defensive line in Michigan, that was look, you had talent on talent.
And that was one of his guys. He was coaching there.
That was his guy. That was his guy. Yeah. So
we'll see.
All right. Well, let's close this episode out. Until next time, I'm Nic Tate.
Joe Caldero.
And the Cadillac.
We're out.
SmashMouth Footballers.